Well, let me tell you about my mentor, John Sutherland.
Okay.
And
John was with?
John was Grubbinellis.
Okay.
And
he was your sales manager?
No, he was another salesman there.
Okay.
And they opened the office in '69, and I started in '71. So the office opened maybe a year and a half before I got there, and John was, I'm not sure what John did before he got in the real estate business, but he was he was just tough, and he was all business. He came in the office 9 in the morning, and he stayed till about 7:30 at night. And from 9 to 7:30, exclusive of an hour and a half lunch, because he was the slowest eater that you'd ever been around, he was all business. He was the most competitive guy that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I used to, he was there, he had a year and a half head start on me, and I'd listen to him, and I'd learn from his dialogue and how he communicated with people and his tenacity and how he'd ask questions. That's how we learn, right?
Right.
Especially with a
There was no
banker
training
who was a
program.
manager who,
Right.
yeah. So when he lost a deal, when he lost his home run deal, oh my God, he would be so pissed. He'd come back to the office. He'd structure his next day of calls. He'd get into the office at 4:30 in the morning, and he'd start calling in the East Coast. And he would hope to get guys in the East Coast that were there before 8 o'clock, so he could not have to deal with the secretary.
Right.
Then he'd go through the East Coast. Then he'd go through the West Coast. Then he'd go through your market, and then he'd come into the Midwest. Then he'd come to your market. Then he'd come into the West Coast. And his goal was to replace the deal he lost by 3 other requirements of similar size.
Every time he did that.
Every time he did
that was just
that's how he would recover from the disappointment of losing the deal.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And he
was successful.
Crazy.
He's not with us, and I think of him every day. I still think of John. I realized he was my mentor much too late. He didn't come with me when I started Lean Associates. He wouldn't. He wouldn't. His ego wouldn't let him come. But he was a great guy, great broker. Well, and as far as Tim attributes some of his success to being mentored correctly, and mentoring is an interesting subject matter, because we can be led by somebody as a runner and told what to do. We can be taught by somebody like a sales manager, or we can watch, and we can learn by watching somebody of success. And I came to realize too late in life that my mentor was a salesman that I worked alongside of at Grubbinellis, John Sutherland. Was just a titan. I think we talked about him earlier in the conversation.
But not in the contents of how much you realized he was a mentor.
Yeah, I just saw him. He was all work. There was no bar talk. There was no sports talk at lunch. He was there to get it done, and he was like you. He had a very active family life. He had 2 girls that were volleyball players, and he was very active in their life. He was a volleyball player, and he loved to get his exercise. Lived down on the beach, and he was quite a mentor. And you can be a mentor by your success too, and how you conduct your business. And you have no idea how you've motivated others within your office, and how you've motivated others outside of your office, and how you motivate others by this video and your books.